Kevin's here, Kevin's here, Kevin's here. I'm so excited. And he's shaking his head. Kevin is back. Those who have not known what I'm so excited about because you haven't been here, well, you've missed out. We're so excited that my wonderful co-host Kevin survived. Was it quadruple bypass heart
Woo!
surgery?
Quad bypass. Yeah.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
They
It's
couldn't
so
get a,
amazing to have you back.
they couldn't get a stent in anywhere.
But it goes to show all your work really paid off. All of your exercise and pushing the limits. You had little natural lifesavers, I think they call them, the natural bypasses, your little collateral vessels. I didn't know you could grow that many around your heart. You said your right coronary was completely shut down.
My right heart was running 100% on collaterals. They told me that in the cath lab. So
Were they
that's,
impressed? I bet you they're going to save those pictures.
I don't know if they're impressed or not. I can't tell. They are, you hardly get to meet anyone because they're so busy, saving lives. But one thing is important in all of this. The slow build up to symptoms were deceptive. And then even on the Thursday when I went to see my physician because I was concerned, like 3 weeks ago, she listened to my heart and said she was concerned about the symptoms, but didn't hear anything wrong. So she referred me to a cardiologist, and that she said that he would call me the next day on the Friday. And this shows you the effect of serendipity. And down came the snow and closed everything down,
Oh my
including the
gosh.
cardiologist office.
Oh
I
gosh.
and I had all I had to go on was I needed to see a cardiologist to see what was going on with these odd symptoms. And so I waited the whole weekend out. And then on the Monday morning, I called his office. It was closed. And so people die because the snow comes down. It's a matter of
Yeah.
luck. It's a matter of luck. Anyway, and as I said, I guess I'll repeat that story very briefly. I went out to my truck to get a couple of those little portable batteries, and I'm very heavy. And as I turned around, there's like an elephant sat on my chest, literally. Well, I know enough about biology to know that elephant sitting on your chest is not a good thing. It was even quite a large elephant, if I remember rightly. And so I stopped, I put the batteries down, called a friend. She had me in the ER within 10, 12 minutes. And then the journey for a quad bypass began. Anyway,
That's incredible. But it all started, you were saying, with what you thought was just a toothache. And it may or may not have been the tooth. You'll never know. But once you had the tooth pulled, the pain was still there
well,
and you symptoms
started
progressed.
it started 6 months ago when I was climbing a very gentle hill on a bike, coaching a friend of mine for the White Lake Half Ironman, and I noticed I couldn't keep up with her.
Hmm.
None of these people could keep up with me on a damn bike. What's going on? I'm out of breath. What's going on? That was the first clue, which of course was subtle, and I dismissed it, assume I was tired, or maybe I'm getting too old for the job or whatever. And I started getting weird pains when I exercised in my shoulders, never down my left arm, never the classic left arm. And it just, there were strange symptoms. And I went to the gym on Tuesday to do a treadmill workout on an incline. I did 11 minutes. That's all I could do. So what's going on? So then I went to my doctor. She made the appointment for the cardiologist. It started to snow. Elephant sat on my chest, and in I went for a quad bypass. What an exciting day that was.
Wow. And it's interesting because you of all people, all of the symptoms and it even you ended up it took 2020 hindsight, right, to put the whole picture together to go, oh my goodness. But even then, there are a lot of people that, if you imagine, you go to the doctor and say, gosh, I'm a little out of breath on that, this last climb, when I was on my bike. And they're going to say, well, you realize you're 82 years old, right?
Yeah.
And so at what point, unless you actually say, I'm experiencing angina, or you put the whole picture together going, I have left jaw pain, I'm short of breath, I feel palpitations, they're not going to put two and two together and send you to emergency for the most part.
Yeah, and nobody would have known what was going on until I went in the cath lab. Oh, can I sort
Nope.
of stir with spoon? Um,
Yeah. I mean, it's
it went
scary.
from subtle symptoms to dead. If my friend hadn't taken me and
Yeah.
that crushing chest pain had taken me, I would have been dead. And it went from subtle to disaster. And that's the trick, is you've got to follow up, and you've got to push too a bit if you can. So make sure you get attention. I
What's
mean,
amazing to me, though, is that you knew in the moment. What was that like for you in that moment where you were standing by the car? If it was me, I would have called 911.
I want to go to the ER. I want to get there fastest way possible. My friend Tara, I knew would get me a damn sight faster than an ambulance. But
Wow.
whatever you have available, you have to get the treatment as quick as you can. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess Doug knows about this. He's been through it. I was in the hospital about 20 days. It nearly killed me. Doug was in the hospital 42 days, and I'm wondering why he's still alive.
Douglas. He had a heart cath too yesterday, right, Douglas?
Yes, I did. Yeah, and uh, I was kind of in the same boat with Kevin. This is about Kevin, not about me, and I'm so blessed to see that beautiful face and that look that he brings to the group with the spirit that is in you, buddy. And we're all glad you're here. But yeah, I didn't know anything about my heart condition till I had a stroke on the table going in to have a procedure for my leg. Ended up at the hospital, and within a week found out I had atypical hypertrophy and had open heart surgery and did not do well. Ended up 42 days in the hospital.
42 days, that's hell. Being in the hospital on your back with a bunch of things wired into you. You can't move, you can't pee. I mean, I got a urinary tract infection they gave me, and they Sue was a little bit horrified the way they did it, but there's nothing. They did save my life, but twice I had Foley's put in, I'd in out things put in to get urine out of my bladder. I went through a bladder hell for about 5 days. That was part of it. And then you can't pee, and it drives you crazy, and then you can't get out of bed unless somebody comes because you're wired. Remember the Gulliver's Travels of the big man, and he goes to Lilliput, and he's tied down by all these little cords from Lilliputians. That's what it felt like. You're tied down. You can't, and you get stiffer and sore. And I think the sooner they get you out of that hospital and get you moving is critical.
Yeah, it is.
Critical.
Because I mean, you're so susceptible, they can't help but expose you to so many different types of infections, um, whatever it might be, especially with open wounds, having an incision. I mean, anything can get in, and you got to be very careful. We just had someone that 3 years after her open heart, she ended up where they didn't, her sternum, she had an infection that somehow had started from then, they claim, brewing in her sternum, and it just festered 3 years later, and she had to be opened up again and get that out.
Yeah,
And so you
I've
just,
been lucky to I can show you the wound if you want to see it. You want to see it?
Sure. It
Yeah,
was
come on.
pretty minor though. It was pretty minor that I saw. Yeah, they did a really nice job,
I mean, they got a nice clean job, you know.
Yeah.
It's never made any noises or any movement. It's always been really firm. But all the time I carried around a cushion. They gave me this heart-shaped cushion.
Oh.
It's not in here now. Hey, Sheila, is my cushion there? That cushion was a lifesaver. It's funny, the stuff that turns out. I went on Facebook when I came out of the hospital, and I wrote a thing which is true. When you come through something like this, all those things that seem big now seem little. And all those little things, like watching the sun come up, seems big. It changes everything. Anyway, here's my heart-shaped cushion. And whenever I cough, to protect the wound, I reach across and I crush it to my chest, and then I cough. And that holds the wound together and protects it.
Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I was really glad of this thing. I had it the whole time. I even have it now. If I cough, I grab the thing, and it really does help. It makes it feel like I'm not going to come unzipped.
I still have mine, Kevin.
Do you really?
Mike might want to
Yes.
say something. Mike's here, and Mike wants to say something before he has to head out. Mike, did you want to jump in really quick? I saw that you have to go, but I love seeing you here, and I know you'd want to say something to Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, it's great to see you, and it's amazing how how well you're doing. Just want to send you all my love. I'm just at my auntie's at the moment. My granddad's 99 years old, and he's just been put on end of life medications because he's had a couple of falls and he's not doing great. So I'll just put a message in just to say, it's great to see you. Yeah, I think you're doing great, but if I have to shoot off, then I'm really sorry. I'm just sat in my auntie's bedroom on the call. My granddad's not very well, so
Yeah, you
Oh,
go back
I'm
to
so glad you got to see him, though.
yeah. I'm spending as much time as I can with him while I'm in the UK. I fly back in 2 weeks, but I don't know whether I am going to be flying back or not because of what's going on with granddad. So
Mm.
one of my aunties has just flown in from Australia today. So it's very touch and go with him at the minute. So
I'm glad you're there. I'm glad that you're with
How's
him.
Jordy doing? Is he okay?
Geordie's fine. Yeah. He's away on project with work as well, so he's not at home. He's with the dogs in a hotel at the minute. So yeah.
Aw,
So
that's so cute. He's
yeah,
got both dogs with him.
he's got both dogs with him in the hotel room. Yeah, and they're driving him absolutely nuts. So where is she? Look at
You
this
wouldn't
dog.
have
This
it
is my
any other
auntie's dog.
way.
Yeah, this is my auntie's dog.
Oh, look how
Hello.
cute.
Sorry about your granddad.
Yeah,
So
Marilyn says she's sorry about your granddad.
yeah, he's fast asleep at the moment, my granddad. So we're just all trying to keep nipping in on him and making sure that he's all right. And his breathing's getting quite laboured, and he's pausing breathing for like 40 seconds at a time. So it's a little bit heartbreaking for me. So I'm going to cry. So I'm going to say goodbye and I'm
Okay,
going to put
we're here
myself
for
off.
you, okay? Mikey,
Okay.
we're here for you.
No, thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you, guys.
coming.
I'll stay on. But if I just need to go, then you know why.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. We just want to be here for you as well. We're family, my friend. We love
I
you.
know, and I've got this.
And you got lots of baby kisses, puppy kisses,
Yeah.
puppy kisses. I bet that's what Kevin missed too. Kevin, did you miss? I saw all the dogs and the cats like looking up at the camera. I guess Sue took a picture of while you're in the hospital and everyone was at attention looking up at the camera.
No, that was a picture Sue took. They wouldn't let dogs in the hospital, but my little dog Gumby, oh my gosh, she was missing me bad.
Yes.
But yeah, that's part of the deal though. But they're always there waiting for you.
They are there waiting for you when you get back. And I bet they were just all over the place. Probably all you could do to keep them off your chest.
Oh God, yeah, that was that. They would run and jump at me when I was grabbing the cushion. Anyway, now Sue decided she had to get back to work in Missouri. She took the 3 rambunctious dogs, and I've kept my little dog Gizmo, and he and I are fine for now. And so it'll be about 5 or 6 weeks before I can drive again and do anything. And then I'll go down and see Sue in Missouri. Anyway, the important messages here are: 1, yes, you can grow collaterals in your heart. 2, you have to keep working your body the whole time if you are in the hospital. The P.A.D. 100 or equivalent is perfect for that because it keeps all that blood going down to your feet. You don't want your P.A.D. getting worse. And then you have to have a network of friends and family. You have to build that network. It makes all the difference. It really does. And so that's basically live a good life, I guess.
And Kevin, with the PAD 100, how often, and I'm assuming, well, it's PAD 100, so you would do 100 at a time, but how many times a day? Would you just do it every hour or every time you think about it? What was
I would do it when I felt like I needed to keep moving and my hips got stiff lying in bed. But I bet I did it 4, 5, 6 times a day. And it made a big difference. It really did. Because there you are, you're lying there and you're stuck. And so that's at least one thing that you can do. Also, I move my shoulders around, my hips, you got to somehow keep your body moving.
Yeah, that's so important. And if anyone who doesn't know what the PAD 100 is, you can go to Kevin's YouTube channel, youtube.com/the fit old dog. So the @ fit old dog, and look up the PAD 100. You can also just search PAD 100 Kevin Morgan and it'll come up as well. But it's really a worthwhile video to save on your phone and do as many times as you can. Did you also have circulation socks, Kevin? Did they put the circulation socks on your legs?
No, I didn't want anything. The only time I put socks on was when I had to walk to the bathroom on the hospital floor. Other than that, they didn't put any restrictive garments on me at all. In fact, I don't think they even were aware of my PAD. They were all focused on my heart. It was all my heart. So it's like nothing else existed, including me or my feet. It was just my heart. They become very focused, and they have to be because, if your heart fails, you've got a bit of a problem.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. And Lisa, you were sharing, you said that you had an experience. Was it with your daughter, or who was it that had a heart attack? Oops, you have to unmute.
My sister died when she was 52 of a major heart attack in her sleep, and she had all the symptoms that day, but she didn't go to the emergency room. She had been with my parents all day. My mom said her blood pressure was extremely high, her left arm was hurting, and she wouldn't go to the hospital.
Damn.
What was her reason for not going to the hospital? Was she?
No
But sometimes, what?
No insurance.
Yeah, see, I've got full insurance. My insurance costs me a lot. I've got Medicare, and I've got extra insurance I pay for. And so, that makes such a difference. And that is not right in an advanced country.
Can I ask a question
Yeah.
there? Can you hear me?
Hi, Marilyn.
If you have no insurance, if it's an emergency, aren't they obligated to treat you in the States?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I think probably
they would
her
have treated her.
sister.
She just didn't want the embarrassment of not having insurance.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
so
here the
horrible.
hospital would treat me, insurance or none. I might end up with a lot of bills I didn't know what to do with, but they are forced to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
What a pity! What a pity, Lisa.
That is such a pity. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is the right thing to say, but I know Canada's got a lot of issues with enough doctors. but you're never, it's paid for. There's no question. So I'm just happy that I can at least get that. I'd be broke if I had to have insurance there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And Marilyn, tell Kevin where you're going. He's not up to date yet on your on what the peanut gallery is up to.
Well, I'm very, very, very fortunate. I actually cried after I talked to Kim. I've been having problems since I've arrived in Arizona. I think you know the story. I drove from Canada for 3 days, and my legs have not been very good since I arrived. I can't figure that out because I was actually doing pretty good, and lots of exercising, lots of walking. I'm a P.A.D warrior for sure. But Kim has arranged for me, I'm on the way there right now, to see a vascular doctor in Las Vegas, and he's seeing me at 12:30. So I'm on my way driving there from Lake Havasu right now. I'm not driving, by the way. And Kim and the P.A.D Association is covering the cost because I have no insurance for that down here.
Yeah.
So I'm quite excited. I feel very fortunate, and thank you so much, Kim.
Are you
Yeah.
driving down? Are you driving down there from Canada, Marilyn?
No, I'm in. My boyfriend and I are in Lake Havasu, and Las Vegas is just 2 hours and 15 minutes away. So Kim hooked me up, and the fellow she hooked me up with actually did part of his training in Canada and Ontario. So that's kind of neat too. Like, yeah, I'm very, very, very happy.
I thought you lived in Canada. Do you not live in Canada, Marilyn?
I do, but we're down here for the winter.
Okay.
And I considered going home, but I would have to wait a little while. I mean, there's pros and cons of Canadian insurance, but I would have to probably wait for a little while to get it done. So this is really going to make a difference for me. I don't know what he'll say. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping he'll do an ultrasound. I don't know if he will or not, but I'm hoping for it.
Yeah, we're going to ask about those statins though that you're on too, to see if that could be causing some of it.
I have a list of questions, not too many. I don't want to overwhelm them, but I've got some questions to ask.
Yeah, and he'll take his time. He's one of the most wonderful human vascular surgeons ever. He's such a good person.
So Kim?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kim?
Yes.
I'm starting to fade. I can't go to stop.
Okay, we'll let you take. We just appreciate you showing up, Kevin. We're so glad that you are doing okay. It just comes with the territory, right? With all of the big surgery and everything else. But thank you so much for being here. We're rooting for you. And I assume you got your steps that we sent you. Everyone came together and got you more than 100,000 steps that they took for you while you were having your open heart surgery.
So I walk around my house to I'm putting in about 1,200 a day now. And then I have to lie down.
Yeah, no, I imagine.
Amazingly exhausting. Okay.
Well, I'm on my way to North Carolina today. And if over the next 5 days you have, my dad's having procedures Monday and Tuesday in Cary, but if you want a little bit of company, I'm happy to stop by and say hello, but it's totally up to you.
That'd be good. I'm getting better every day.
Good.
But I know when I've got to rest.
Yep. Well, go take a rest. Thank you for coming. And we just love you, Kevin.
Thanks for all your support, everybody.
You're welcome.
Bye. Good luck.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Kevin.
And hello, Marina. Marina's here. Hi, Marina. You and Marilyn have a lot in common, you know, in terms of your walking, and you're on a statin that you might need a different one. And Marina, tell Marilyn what happened once you did a trial without that particular statin.
My muscles felt a little better. Now, I don't know if it was in my head or what, but I stopped the atorvastatin or atorvastatin. So now I did speak with my doctor last week, and she wanted me to try Repatha. Now,
but that's amazing.
Yeah, my cholesterol is not very high, But she thinks with my, with my artery problem that it won't do any harm. That's for sure. So
It helps reduce the inflammation in your arteries. It's not as much about the cholesterol.
okay.
It can help. And we just had this doctor on yesterday. I don't know if anyone saw it. I think our friend Heinz was definitely there because Heinz asked a question, but it's a P.A.D. doctor, a general and vascular surgeon who has P.A.D. And he has the same thing. I didn't even tell Kevin that he has the hypercholesterolemia. And so the genetic high cholesterol. And so he's been on all of these different ones. They didn't really do very much until he tried the Repatha. And Repatha isn't considered a statin, it's a different class. So it works differently. So it might really, I've heard from some patients that they've noticed a difference.
How
That's what I
so?
take
In what way?
for years.
With walking distance, they just seem to feel better overall. And Lisa, are you on it?
I've been on it for about 4 years. Every time I've taken a statin, it has literally put me in a wheelchair.
Oof.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful for, and it has dropped my cholesterol 100 points.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, how long before people typically see improvement?
I don't think I was checked for like 6 months after I started it.
Okay. Well, I'll try. It has to get approved, of course,
high.
through
I mean,
insurance. But
Dropping 100 points, mine's still at 250.
Mhm.
But mine's the hereditary.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, Lisa, still, if you have some other inflammation going on in your body, we've kind of talked about it, that you have a lot of other things that your body is kind of fighting off, and your immune system says, we need to send in the fats and the cholesterol to patch things up. So we still don't know exactly what might be damaging, the arteries.
Yes.
Still some exploration to go. And Marina, when you say that your cholesterol seems normal or isn't that high, the thing that you need to ask your doctor, and you can even ask Dr. George Adams, I think you said you're seeing him in a couple weeks, is, hey, can I get an advanced lipid panel? You want to know not just the quantity, which is what a basic lipid panel gives you. The real telling numbers are the quality. You want to know how many large, fluffy LDL particles versus small, dense LDL particles that when they become oxidized by trans fats and free radicals, those are the ones that could eke into damaged areas in your vessels. So you want to have a really good balance. Once we figured out what was damaging my dad's arteries, his small LDL numbers actually balanced out, which was incredible. And he is not on a statin. He, it turns out, did not have a liver production problem. He had a cholesterol reabsorption problem. So he wasn't pooping enough. And sometimes for men, you need to poop 2 to 3 times a day. Women, 1 to 2, just depending on your situation. And so he ended up bumping up the psyllium husk and plant sterols, and his cholesterol plummeted. It got to normal levels. We also figured out he had the MTHFR mutation, which was damaging his arteries. So we got him on a methylated B vitamin and stopped all enriched flour products. And he's been doing amazing. He just had a PET scan, and the doctor was like, "What are you doing? It's amazing." Because all of his stents are clear.
What B vitamin was that?
He's doing Metanix. It's a prescription methylated B vitamin called Metanix, Metan, Metanix.
Okay.
And it's expensive, but you can get it out of, I think it's Tampa Health Direct or something like that, that you can send the prescription there, get a 3-month supply. And you get it for, I think, like $60 a month versus $200 a month, because insurance doesn't cover it.
And I have in the last 2 weeks cut out artificial sweet. Oh, I've cut out all sweeteners and any packaged foods.
Oh, good for you.
And a matter of fact, I just made yogurt myself last night. So I'm gonna check
Yeah.
that
What?
out.
How did you make yogurt? Oh my
In my
goodness.
Instapot.
What?
The Instapot has a yogurt setting, so you just put 2 cups of milk and a cup of heavy whipping cream and some yogurt starter in there, and set it, and it boils and cooks for 12 hours, and then there's yogurt. And I mixed some chia seeds into it.
You're kidding. And
So
your
I'm trying.
grandson and your
I gotta be here for
grandson
the,
gives
yeah, I
you
have
lip?
to be here. I have to be here for the grandson.
Yeah. You might want to double check if you go to Veronica Foods. I think it's evoliveoil.com or something like that, but it's Veronica Foods. See if they have an olive oil shop near you. They have the past 3 years, it's been clinically proven to have the healthiest olive oil in the world that they get in each year. And that's been the secret for my dad, his dietitian, who was getting her PhD at the time at Stanford. She was a big believer, had done a lot of research on olive oils, and she said, this olive oil is like the secret to success. And my dad's been taking a tablespoon in the morning before breakfast and a tablespoon before dinner. And I don't know, that could have been the ticket.
I mixed some olive oil in something this week. But I need better olive oil. That's what I told my
Yeah,
son. I didn't like the way that tasted. So
no, it's
but they had that
a
little
lot of them are
bite.
rancid.
Yeah, you're supposed to get that little bite at the back of your throat from good olive
Oh,
oil.
it should really kick you in the throat. And when you smell this olive oil versus the stuff that you get on the store shelves, even, it's literally it's a huge difference, because when they did a test with me and I smelled the olive oil that you would get in the store, and I was like, that's olive oil. And they're like, that's not the real olive oil. And they made me smell the good stuff. And I was like, oh, that really smells like olives.
Mm. I'll look into it. I wrote it down.
Yeah, Marilyn?
Kim, have we ever talked about nattokinase making a difference?
Oh, yeah, we've talked about it. Yeah, we've talked about it a lot. And natto is the fermented soy, and people in Japan swear by the fermented soy and actually doing it naturally. But I, wasn't sure how to do it. I've never really looked up to see if you can buy the actual natto, but the nattokinase, our nurse practitioner who comes on Wednesdays to answer questions about supplements. If you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/the way to my heart, there's a whole playlist with nurse practitioner Deidre. It's Ask NP Deidre. And she even has her own YouTube channel, the @NP Deidre, DEIDRE. And you can see all of our shows on there and do a search on her channel for nattokinase. And we have so much information. She was just a wealth of information on it. She's definitely a proponent, but you do have to make sure all of those supplements, they're still drugs, right?
Yep.
And you have to make sure you need to work with a nutritionist or someone that knows that you're on it and can help make sure that you're taking the right dosage for your situation. You need to check for any contraindications with your medicines and things like that.
Used to, I
Good
wouldn't
point.
tell the doctor all of my supplements, and now I tell them everything I take and the milligrams or whatever, every single vitamin I take.
Yeah. No, that's so important, because you just never know if something might have. And I go to my pharmacist, and I've found that sometimes, like, for example, when I had a UTI, my pharmacist, I went to a pharmacist and I said, I don't know why they gave me this. When I look up this particular antibiotic, it doesn't seem to be for the strain that came out in my blood work. She's like, you're exactly right. She said, let me call back the doctor. She called the doctor herself and said, hey, did you look at her results
Right.
you might want to change her medication. So your pharmacist could be your
Healthy.
best friend.
Yes. That made me
And
think
they're
about
usually more
after
open.
my AAA. Remember, I had the blood clot, and I had went to the emergency room the night before because my back was hurting. It was bad. And the emergency room doctor said he didn't see anything on the CT. And it was the next day that my surgeon called me and said, "Get up here now. You've got a blood clot." The emergency room doctor
God.
just looked at the picture of the CET, and apparently my arteries are side by like that, and the blood clot was in the one that was behind. He didn't read the information at the bottom of the
See,
page
that's
describing
interesting.
where the blood clot was.
See, you guys should always, this is why I say you need to get a second opinion. Douglas had a similar situation. Douglas, do you remember when we first met and we got you a CT scan over at a very large, famous university? And they got the scan, and the doctor, and I said, "Hey, why aren't you getting Douglas in? He can't walk. Why aren't you getting Douglas in? Because he can't walk." "Oh, he's fine. He's got blood flow, going down. He's got enough. There's no rush." Right, Douglas? And that's when we decided, you know what, we can't wait because you couldn't walk. And I was like, what? How is it that this CT scan and this guy reading the CT scan would say that he's okay? And his feet are cold. Like, what's going on here? So we sent him 4 hours away to where literally he barely made it through the night. Bless his heart. Between this one woman, Kay, and myself, we, took turns talking to Douglas all night long. The poor guy could barely sleep. And then he drove himself to the hospital, and he gets out of the truck and he just collapses. And they had to send out a wheelchair. And the doctor calls me. He's like, "Kim, he did not have another day. That was dead man walking," and got him in. And I said, "How is it possible that the other doctor completely missed it?" He said, "If you read what the tech wrote, the tech must have been really inexperienced." So you just never know. The
Yeah.
tech was inexperienced and wrote as if everything was fine, that he had flow to his toes.
Yep. See, that
And
was
the
mine. Is
doctor
that
never looked at the images.
the emergency room doctor didn't read the tech notes. Was my case, and just
See,
sent
it
me
could
home.
happen
And I
either
knew
way.
something wasn't right. I couldn't even. It
Yeah.
took when he told me to come to his office. It took me an hour to get to my car. That's how much pain I was in. And we live
See,
rurally, so I
trust
mean, I still
yourself.
got there faster than I would have if I'd have called an ambulance. When you live way out in the middle of the woods.
See, that's what Kevin said too. He's like, "I literally was not going to wait for an ambulance. I was going to go."
Yeah, and I already knew that from
I,
Jerry being sick that it takes that long. So.
wow.
And I
Oh
told
my
the nurse, I
gosh.
said, "I'm here by myself. I'm not supposed to be driving." She said, "He doesn't care." He said, "Get up here, drive yourself." So,
I get there
Well,
now.
think about that. So you're at home. You call 911. I'm in rural too, Lisa, where I have to call 911. Then they connect me to another 911 from my area. So the ambulance takes 10 minutes to get here. They come in, they hook you up, they ask another 10 minutes of questions, and if my neighbor's here, we could have been at the hospital
yep.
10, 15, and 10 minutes instead of waiting for
Yeah.
45 minutes after all that other stuff is done.
We're not discouraging people from calling 911 if you do
No,
think you have an
no.
emergency, but like these are cases where thank God you just went, and thank God Kevin just went. And I'm sure
Yep.
Matt and Mike, who are here, are going, 12 minutes, that's nothing for an ambulance. Wow, you guys have someone that arrives less than an hour? Like,
Right.
that's great.
Every
I
time we
know a
had to
lot of
call one
places.
twice for Jerry, and it was over an hour each time. So, yeah.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I think with the paramedics in England, they're pretty much on it straight away, especially when it comes to chest pain or anything like that. It's usually quite quick that they'll
Oh, they
dispatch
do.
a crew. Yeah,
Was it just
So
Scotland
this,
that was having the problem?
possibly,
It might
possibly.
have been Scotland that was having the problem because we had one of our patients that ended up falling, and it just happened to be near one of our other colleagues in Scotland, and she was able to walk 2 blocks and get over and help tend to this person had cracked their head open and was just sitting there bleeding. And they're like, yeah, well, it's going to be 4 hours before we get an ambulance there. It's like, what?
Yeah, no, that does happen sometimes as well. I must admit, it's not just they do get there quick if it's chest pain or if they realise that somebody's going into cardiac arrest or anything. Then yes, but I've known it with working in the in accident and emergency that people have been having strokes. And the paramedics have said, we're not going to be there for a couple of hours. Make your own way to hospital, and they've had to get their own lift there. So
there was one other time, remember, Kim, I was going back to I had another one on the road and I couldn't drive, and the ambulance was trying to find me, and they were at the bottom of this hill, and they told me I needed to drive down to where they were.
Yeah, we were trying to pinpoint you with the Find My and figure out your geolocation so we could tell them. And they didn't understand the geolocation and the markers. I was like, aren't you an ambulance driver? Shouldn't you know how to find people based on the markings on the map? The different what do you call them? The markers, the
The
come on, Matt,
the,
help me out.
the highway number signs,
Well,
and
it was
they
like even the
and they knew the number, and we know where that is, but we're at the bottom, but we can't. So they asked me to drive to where they were. So I did.
it was so crazy. And that was after, didn't you nitro as well?
Oh, yeah.
I think you nitro, yeah. Oh, so crazy. But I'm so thankful all of you guys are here and alive today. That speaks volumes. It's amazing. And Marina, I'm coming today. I'm coming to North
Yay.
Carolina. So hopefully we'll see you on Thursday morning
Yeah.
over in Cary. I have to find that little breakfast spot so we can have some breakfast.
Yeah, let me know. I can pick you up. I'm really close to where you're staying.
That would be great. I'll see if but you might have me and then my dad and our 3 dogs.
That's fine. You got lots of room.
We have
when are you
3.
traveling to the east coast? When are you traveling to the east coast of Canada, Kim, to come and have a look at some vascular surgeons there? I want to meet you
I know.
face to face. I want to take you out for dinner.
I'd love to. One of these days I'd really like to get to Ontario. I'm trying to get on the speaking circuit, and we just kind of started, raising the patient voice. I actually shared your story, and I appreciate it, Mike, just because I'm always so proud of you. Just how you
Thank
walk
you.
and you walk and you walk and what you've been able to do. And it never means that you can't backtrack and then take a step back and another step forward. Like, it doesn't matter, but just what you've been able to accomplish is so inspiring. And so I share that story with the folks out there to get there. I want that all these doctors to work with us so that we can help be there for their patients when they can't, right?
Yeah.
We have our community. We have a walking app. We have a lot of different things that in the seminars with Kevin. And how fun is this every single week to hang out like this?
It's great as well. It's like bringing people together. It's like last week I went out for a dinner with Tracy out the group, and and then next week I'm arranging to go out with VJ. I'm going to go and pick VJ up next week and go for a walk. So this group is kind of bringing us together in more ways.
Yeah.
you know, and it's great. I don't, honestly, I don't know where I'd be now without this group. To be fair, I'd probably still be lay on the couch moping in my own self-pity. To be fair,
People
but no,
underestimate, right? The value of
yeah,
virtual. I
yeah.
feel like we all know each other.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%,
And Matt,
definitely.
it's you just message me afterwards or stay on the Microsoft afterwards and I'll get you signed up for it. It's a fairly primitive app. It was designed by fellow patients. They just wanted something simple. We are going to expand it and we're going to have, like, let's say we're going to allow for localized groups so people can, get local. And so we'd have facilitators like you in your area for your group, for local, that kind of thing. Allow people to not only gather virtually on there, but if they choose, they can get together in person or whatever they want to do. But
Awesome.
at some point, we'll need facilitators when we do that for different areas. Any of you know where Exeter is in the UK?
Yeah, down south near the coast.
Okay. Because we ended up with a researcher at University of Exeter, I think it is, that is going to be coming on March 4th to talk about, they have a paid study for people about walking as medicine and such. So people who are in Exeter, if you see anyone in the groups or know anyone in Exeter with P.A.D, they need 10 people, but they're going to come on the 4th for our UK hangout.
Oh, is this the guy? He texted me yesterday.
That's yes. Yep.
Yeah. He messaged me. Unfortunately, I can't make the meeting on March the 4th because that's the day I'm flying back to Canada. So I'll be in the air during that. So I do apologize.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Just get back safely, please.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, so we're hoping that's going to start the reoccurrence of those UK hangouts again, where we have different doctors from different areas that we're working with the Royal College of Vascular Surgery to rotate through their top vascular surgeons across the UK, and they've all agreed to take a Wednesday once or twice a year to answer questions, which I think will be really, really cool. So we're going to start with the researcher on Wednesday, March 4th. And thankfully, our friend and producer, Joshua, has left open his time slot for that, waiting very patiently for us to fill it again. But hopefully we'll be able to get that kicking again very soon. So how's Jean over there? We have Jean that's here too. She's very quiet. I don't know if she's wanting to speak up today and say hello. Matt, any update from you as well?
Hello,
You're just
everybody.
going to dinner?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have some dinner. We're back in 10 minutes. Healthy dinner.
Healthy dinner. Good.
Well,
Kinda.
kinda.
Hey,
Hello,
everything in balance, right?
everybody.
Everything in balance. Hi, Jean.
It was good to see Kevin today. I've been thinking about him.
I know. I was so glad. And it was so funny because just when I went to text him, I was like, are you maybe going to be here? Because he's usually really positive and he always
Yeah.
puts the little swirly at the end of his messages that says Kev, or he'll put a little picture of a flower that he's taken or his dog or something. And just this week he sent me the message saying it's a little slow on the recovery. I wasn't expecting this. So I got a little worried and I didn't want to bother him about coming, but I'm so glad. So I just thought, after talking to our producer here, Josh, I'm like, let me just nudge and just see and make sure he knows that whether he comes or not, it's fine, but just that he's welcome and we're thinking about him. And he popped on just as I messaged. So that was really nice. But I really thank every one of you for being here and showing up for him. for us, for even yourselves in walking. So I appreciate it. We're going to jump off the broadcast. If you want to join our live studio audience, make sure you email info@padhelp.org, info@padhelp.org. And make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel. We have some really important messages in this particular video. Don't wait. Get your heart checked. Please learn from this. Kevin made a plea for you. He shared his symptoms. He showed up for everyone to make sure that no one else does what he did and dismisses those symptoms. Don't dismiss those symptoms. Go see your doctor, get to the emergency room, and advocate for yourself. Thanks everyone for joining us.